Can you see me, guys? Guys, you should be able to see me. I can see myself from my screen here. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I said this document explains the journey of transitions through different phases of life, providing guidance on how to grow, develop a clear vision, and live a life of purpose. Whether you're in Lagos, Nigeria, you're in London, UK, or New York in America, or any part of the world, the principles of growth and vision and purpose applies universally through the expression, although the expressions may differ. So there will be different expressions. Okay. So I'll start with a brief personal story, just to set the tone for scaling the height webinar. Um, Growing up, we grew up from a poor family. Just as many of us, no leverage. You've got life so hard and all of that. But there comes a time whereby I had to decide that things can be the same. You know, we're clapping for people. We saw celebrities, we saw global icons, but you don't have that, should I say, the leverage to become what you want to be. But definitely there must be a pathway. And one of the first book I read was Brian Tracy, No Excuses. That book exposed me that at the end of the day, your choices determine your destiny. So that's just a short. I want to just go into the text. Look at this slide. It says the journey of transitions from different phases of life. I've told you earlier on that I used color to highlight my key points here. So just as I say and I share, you just also read it. I said many people are alive, but not everyone is living. Living is in levels, living is in cadres. So when we say scale new heights, we mean stretch, transit, or journey to new realms, to the next level of life. So going from where you are to the next phase. That's the summary of scaling new heights. But as simple as it may seem, is people they've lived their whole life being on one spot, and you're gonna see the reasons why. So I said in the next point that the distance from being alive to living is the cumulative of all the journeys you're going to take in life. So the distance from you being alive to reaching that point where you say now you're living is the cumulative of all the journeys that we're all going to take. So I said here that what life gives us is the privilege to go through these journeys. That's what life gives you. Life owes you nothing than does the gift of time and energy. That's the basic unit of life. Time and energy. That's what life gives you. The ability to reach different milestones across this journey is totally based on our choices and decision. And I highlighted there that decisions determine destiny. So I want us to just begin to already think about decisions already. We've started seeing the key pointers. If you're talking about scaling the heights, already you're already talking about decisions. You're already talking about destination. So I'm already painting a picture of where you are now, as is, and to be where you want to get to. We move over to the next slide. I've called something the ladder of success. This is every woman being start from where they are to reaching the pinnacle. And when you see it, you start from existence, which we're going to explain much further, to survival, to thriving, to impact, and to purpose. And I said something here. Yeah. There's a certain quality of life and depth that each level affords us. There's a certain quality of life and depth that each level affords us. So you can say that people are alive truly. Everyone is alive because that's the gift of life. That's what life gives us, being existing. But the quality of life that everyone lives is different and is based on the decisions and choices that people have made. So we see here, we see the benefit of the kind of choice you make. So if you want to remain on the survival zone, you are telling me that you want to settle for just comfort. I highlighted it so that people will begin to just judge themselves based on these metrics. If you're telling me, well, I want to just thrive in life, so you're telling me that yes, you want to live a luxurious life, and we have many people, we have billions and millions all over the world that are thriving and they're living luxurious life. Then you move on to the next stage, which is impact. We see people that are making impact. These people have got influence and fame at their beckon. Now you move to the next stage, which is purpose. At this stage, not many people get there. Talking about fulfillment, and the last stage, which is accomplishment. So you're gonna ask me now, we're starting this journey. I'm a young person, I'm 20, I'm 15, I'm 30. You're telling me about scaling the heights. I want to live from existence to I want to get to survival, to thriving, to impact. I want to impact my world. I want to live a life of purpose. You're gonna ask me how do I know when to transit? I said something here. You know it's time to transit or scale new heights when your highest singular need, look at the highlight there, your highest singular need for that level have been met. Look at it here. Have been met, achieved, or reached. Follow me. Why there are many factors that sponsor and regulate each level. The highest, most singular need for each level include. So we're gonna just gaze into what these scalars are. So what does existence mean? I said the existence just means breath. That's what life gives you, the ability to breathe in and out. That's what life gives you. You do that effortlessly. Whether you're poor, you're rich, you're old, so far you are alive, you have breath. I said the greatest drive for existence, that's breath. So what you majorly need to exist is breath. The most common unit of life is breath. And you see, even plants and animals are already at this stage already. Plants, they breathe in oxygen and they are alive. And most people, of course, they've scaled through this. They've scaled that very easy. But we'll move to the next stage, which is hunger. Suddenly, you realize that you're alive, you're breathing in and out, but you start your day, you're alive. Oh, probably you wake up in the morning. As you go across the day, you discover that you need food. Now you need to survive. And I said here that what regulates the need here is survival. Remember, we're talking about the highest singular need. So for someone who is on the survival scale, the major motivating factor for what they do is to feed hunger. And you're gonna see what hunger means, not just hunger in the literal terms. I said, as you breathe in and out, suddenly you realize that breath is not enough. Now you're alive, yes, you're already existing, but now you need food. Food there as a symbolism for basic amenities. Could be food literally, clothing and shelter. I said your hunger for food brings you into survival mode and you begin a quest and a search to enable a consistent supply of it. Food, there are many basic amenities. And I said, look at something. This is where environment comes in place. The search for survival seems to be more stringent in third world countries than in first world countries. So we have people that have connected all over the world, but the realities of scaling new heights is different for different countries. You can't tell me that someone that is privileged to be born in the US, that's growing in the US or in the UK, has the same will have the same privilege of a reality with someone that is in, I don't know which country, Nigeria, or one of the most remote country of the world. So it's different for everyone. So we're just trying to highlight this, that uh, factors like economic policies, science, and technology can affect this scaling there. If we are talking about scaling there, it affects even the scope of it. So I said the quest for consistent supply of food, which is basic amenities, is easily met if you're in the UK or in the US or most of these European countries. You will definitely thrive well in the survival zone. I said the highest tool you need to survive is hard work, definitely, provided on a platform of mostly job. And what you exchange is hand work and brain work. So either your labor or your skill. We have unskilled labor, those that are into arts and crafts, or skilled labor. You've gone to the university and now you have a skill and you can trade it for money. I said why you want food is because you want to conserve energy and time. So let's move to the next one. Notice it was an highlight there. Whether you give more energy than time, or you spend more time than energy, you are still surviving. Because that's one thing that I've seen. I've been privileged to live in third world country and in the first world country, and there's that growing debate. Either you're working for money, giving your energy, or you're working for money, giving your time. You're still at the survival state because there's that pride that people think, well, I'm not a laborer, for example, but you're still giving your time. You're still surviving, and you're gonna see why. In our world today, the search for survival is the most singular cause of mass migration from third world to first world countries. People call it, in the local parlance, japa. We call it greener pasture. So the search for greener pasture, which is hunger, hunger motivates people to want to leave their homeland or their countries for greener pastures. So we move to the next stage, thriving. I said that the major motivating factor for you to thrive is desires. Now you begin to have desires. As a young person, after you've been able to feed your hunger, you have basic amenities. Now you begin to have other desires. And I said, what are desires? Desires are wants that come after needs. After your basic needs have been met, you begin to have wants. Now you want something. You don't want to fly economy again. You want to fly private jet first class. I said once you have ensured a consistent supply of food, suddenly you realize you want more. You want more exclusivity to yourself. To yourself. Look at the highlights, the exclusivity to yourself. I said your desire for more brings you into that thriving mode. Once you begin to desire more than just the basic amenities, then already you are preparing to enter into the thriving zone. And you begin a quest or a search for, look at the highlight there, for not just only a consistent supply of food like you've had in the survival mode, but a surplus, large and frequent supply. You suddenly want more money. And some of the languages of people in thriving mode are they want more jobs, they want two jobs, they want remote jobs. Those are the languages of those people. They want it's frequent. They want it in a large scale. They want more money. I said you're thriving when you can successfully secure the consistent, surplus, frequent supply of food, which are your needs, basic amenities, and your desires, your luxuries, your excesses and wants. Look at the key highlights there. In less time, spending less energy. If you're still spending more time and spending more energy in fulfilling your and achieving your luxuries, you're still definitely in the survival zone, not in the thriving zone. You're not thriving yet. Because what regulates the thriving zone is time and energy. You want to spend less of it to get more. The highest language here is leverage. The highest tool here you need is leverage, doing more with less. And this you can achieve through systems, structures, and relationship. And we're going to cover that. Or a community. And most times, what you mostly give out is mind work. You sort of want to bring in a new innovation, a new concept. Now you see that your brain work, what you've learned in school, may not necessarily sponsor you if you're in thriving zone. Already, I'm already telling you that you want to scale new heights. If you have only been banking on just handwork, you know that you're going to struggle to get into the thriving zone. If your desires to get into the thriving zone, definitely your brain work will not be able to sponsor those luxuries. For example, in today's world, how many salary can you gain to be able to buy a private jet if that's what you want? No. But once you can innovate something new, a concept, you become a monopolist, then you're talking about mind work there. I said you thrive only to the degree of your efficiency and your effectiveness, doing more with less, preserving time and energy. Now think about it. Now you can fly private jets and you have everything all to yourself, the Gucci's of this world and luxuries. You suddenly begin to think about impact. Now you see that guy is built an empire. Now he's suddenly telling you about inclusivity. He's thinking about others now. That's the way I'm telling you about the structure of man. He's thinking about himself now. He's thinking. I said, once all your personal desires are met, you suddenly want expansion, dominion, and influence. You suddenly want inclusivity, others. I said the impact is the observable effect or change you create for someone else that empowers them to be what you've been, exist, survive, or thrive. You suddenly start to think of other people. And I said, pause, let's think about it. The richest people in the world are now giving back and giving out all the money they use their lifetime to acquire to the society through charity foundations and empowerment programs. You begin to wonder, so why did you gather the money? That's the quest of man. That's the quest of man. You see people like Bill Gates, and many of them now having found they are investing massively billions of dollars. You begin to wonder, why did you even gather that money before? Because man is thinking about impact now. So this already answers the question of those in the school of thought that money is everything. No, money is not everything. If not, people will not give out money. But even those that have even the greatest amount of money are even giving it out because there's something more fundamental than just having and possessing money. We're talking about impact here. And what regulates it is burden. You want inclusivity. You want others to come along with you. Because there's an adage that said, if you are the only one that is rich among 9 poor people, you are as good as being poor. Let's go on. And we may not read this, but I said, look at this story of the 4 lepers in the Bible. We see them go through these different stages of existence, survival, and thriving. For those that are Christians here, when you look at that story, you see that they first talked about eating first. They ate, they fulfilled the survival mode. Then they went to thriving, they gathered raiment, golds, and silver. They went to keep it. They went again to keep it, They want exclusivity to themselves. After they now said, we did not do well. We have to go and tell others. They're talking about impact. So we see that pattern there with the 4 lepers. That's the nature of man, and that's what most people will go through in life. I said something here that is a key pointer. This is the major disaster we have in society and leadership. Both society and authorities don't have an understanding of these journeys of scaling you out of the ladder of success. So we appoint and anoint leaders only to get disappointed when they first choose to survive and thrive before impact. There's a growing aggression all over the world. People are angry with governments. They're angry with religious leaders. They are angry with different institutions all over the world because of this particular principle. There's a break of trust everywhere. You see, for example, a nation will appoint a president or a leader, and it goes there to, first of all, fulfill surviving and thriving first. And the nation, they begin to castigate the president, saying, oh, this and that, oh, this person is best, only for the person to get there and still fulfill the same. So what I'm saying here, that this is a bias of humanity. Is a bias of humanity. So if we're saying now, like, these are the stages. Okay. Timing was wrong. Yeah. So I said, yeah, we have many young people today trying to make impacts without no track record of surviving or thriving. That's the issue. We are seeing many people now that want to skip that ladder. They want to skip the stages. They want to go from existence to impact. Some want to just go from survival to impact. Those stages are layered. It's going to be so impossible for you to start talking about impact if you're not thriving. It's going to be so impossible for you to talk about thriving if you have not yet survived. We have many young people that have joined the call today and all over the world are trying to make global impact without any track record of surviving or thriving. And I like 2 famous quotes from those that have inspired me over the years. Mahatma Gandhi is the father of Indian revolution. They said something. If you want to change the world, start by changing yourself. You're talking about scaling your height. At one point, you want others to come along with you. Then start by making sure that you survive, you thrive before you talk about thrive and impact. Mother Teresa of Calcutta said something. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. These quotes may look so just, fickle. They may look so, but the in it is deep understanding of key fundamentals. And I know there are many people here that are Christians and, we believe in declaration. For example, you say, I'm the light of the world and all of that. But when you look at that, you see that you can't become the light of the world if you are not yet first the candle under the bushel and the city on the hill. So many people want to just become the light of the world. They just want to appear to the global stage without any track record of their positive impacts and inputs and relevance in their family house, in their community, in their cities. Move over to purpose. So suddenly you see someone that's is already achieving impact, is telling you about purpose. And I said, purpose is the reason or intention behind an action, the driving force or motivation behind an impact. You can't just look at the reality. You can't just fulfill purpose arbitrarily, because I don't want to even stress on this particular part because not many people even get here. I said there, if you just say you pick purpose, oh today I want to be a footballer. I said else everyone will take the path of most convenient or least resistance. Everyone will do what is easy. I said there must be a reference yardstick. You either fulfill the purposes of God or the plans of the devil. Or I'm sure no one is too young to believe or to imagine that this world is just purely physical. We've got a physical part of this same life and the spiritual part of life. So we're saying here that there's no debate, it is prescripted. You either play the role or you decline it. So what you're born to do is already, it has been written down. You either come and align with it or not. You can't form a new storyline. And how to measure purpose is to check if your impact leads people to God or devil. And that's why this is the clarification here, because there's that confusion between purpose and impact. You can't confuse purpose and impact because the reference yardstick is that a purpose that is taking people away from morality, away from sanity in society is not purpose at all. So we see many people, we have many celebrities, we have many influencers that we want to be like now. We have many young people that want to be like certain people that won't mention their names. And you're talking about fulfilling purpose. They're telling you this is my purpose. No, that's not purpose. That's not purpose because it's based on the reference yardstick that leads people to God or the devil. And I said they sat at the mountain of influence is both Jesus and Satan. We've heard about the mountain of influence. You have about 8 of them. As seen in Matthew 4, verse 8, said, again, the devil taketh him up into the exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Sat at that mountain for all the music stars you've seen over the years. You've heard of many of those languages, Illuminati or cultic group, to tell you that when you get to the top, talking about purpose and impact is more than just skill and abilities. We're talking about alignment and worship here. We will not press into that today. I said in today's world, we have many people who have marked high on impact, but low on purpose. We have many people, they've truly impacted our world, our generation. But in terms of purpose actualization, they failed woefully because their relevance leads men to destruction, moral decadence, and damnation. We have many today. Online is polluted. Social media is polluted right now with people that have impacted people, but it has led them to moral decadence and destruction. Our young children, young people are no more safe again in the hands of social media because of people that have marked high on impact. They have followings, they influence people, but low on purpose because of moral decadence. So I said here, abundance of impact, influence, or income does not automatically lead to purpose actualization. Because because we're talking about scaling it, right, there must be a reference point. And we have people that are bragging that, well, I'm the reference point because I have money, I have influence, I have 100 million followers, so be like me. We must, if for those of us that are on the call today, we must be able to edit these things and have the understanding of our reference point. So we are seeing here that having the abundance of impact, influence, or income does not automatically lead to purpose actualization. The last stage on the ladder of success is legacy. Legacy is what outlives you. I said there, you live to achieve a purpose, you die to achieve a legacy. And I said purpose can span a lifetime, and legacy can be, most times, is intergenerational. So I said there, the value of references. Look at something. The value of references. If we must go on a journey, it's wise enough to look for reference points. And these reference points can be systems, can be a person, can be models. For me, I said the highest reference we have seen in history is Jesus Christ. While we also have other historic and current models like Abraham, Paul, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Miles Moron, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, we have Mahatma Gandhi, we have Elon Musk, we have Bill Gates, and Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So we're saying here that if you're going to climb new heights, If you're going to climb new heights, there are reference points because it's about a journey, and many people have attained heights that we want to get to. So it's important to gaze into them and see their lifestyle. Because if you want to become Elon Musk, definitely it's going to be different from if I want to become Bill Gates. So you see those patterns now. So we see many people that have become influencer and leading people to what they want to become. And those what they want to become, they get there and it's like, this is not what I want to become. No, but this is your reference point. So I said as we conclude these stages, many people want to jump into new heights. Look at the emphasis there, jump into new heights, which usually leads to a fall. However, the best way to climb into new heights is to grow into it. Because life is a journey of long distance. While it is good to go fast, it is better to go far. In today's world, all over social media, if you're active on comment on social media, you see that global icons, both in politics, in finance, even religious leaders are coming under scrutiny because of they've achieved success, they've thrived, impact. Some are even achieving purpose. They are coming under scrutiny because of their method of climbing into new heights. So we are saying here for some of us that have never started, or for some that have started, we must be careful that it's not just an arbitrary movement. We have to be careful about our methods. We have to edit our methods. We have many people they've gone into jail sentences. Many people have been killed, have been grounded because of their method of scaling new heights. So that's the emphasis today. So you were gonna say, what is in it for me then? If you've painted this picture from existence to survival to thriving to impact to purpose to legacy, what is in it for me? That's okay. Since I'm not here to live. Remember, I've said it earlier on that the quality of life you live is based on the decisions, and each stages they've got different qualities. And I know that everyone will always want the best for themselves. So let's go through this journey again. I said it's a continuous journey. Growth, a continuous journey. I said growth is not just a destination, but a continuous journey of development. Growth can be personal, professional, societal. We can grow as a person, as an institution, as a community, as a nation. When we talk about growth, we say that the failure of a country or a nation to grow affects citizens. So growth is a very, very important topic, even in scaling new heights. The proof of growth is responsibility and maturity. In 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11, he said, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, and I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I said there, note the highlight. There must be a time where you become in order to begin. Crash happens when you begin before becoming. We see many people that are still children trying to scale new heights. When a child tries to scale new height, definitely, even as a parent, you already know it's going to fall. And as simple as it seems, that's what most of us do in today's world. Before we're trying to become, we're trying to begin things that have not yet become. I said the reward for growth is more expansion, is more an expansion, more an expansion. That means more success, more victories, more fame, expansion. And I said the contracts is the penalty for not growing is stagnation and limitation. You're going to be stuck and grounded. So there's something I term the duality of growth. Growth is both inward and outward. Reference points, Luke 2 verse 52, Jesus Christ, he grew in wisdom and in stature. Remember, I've stated that for us here, Jesus Christ is the highest reference point, while we acknowledge other current models. We're saying here that if we say the proof of growth is responsibility, it means inward growth means the capacity to take psychological responsibility. Outward growth is the ability to take structural responsibility, meaning positive actions and decisions that lead to upward movement. In today's world, we have many young people trying to be structurally responsible without any foundation and understanding of psychological investment. In today's world, we have a lot of young people. We have, I think, based on the statistic, we have over 5 or 4 billion young people over the world. But they're trying to make trying to make structural responsibility. They want to do things. They want to become. Them too, they want to buy cars, they want to build houses, they want to build mansions without having a psychological investment for what scaling new heights means. So I said here, look at this, very, very, very important for us to note. This is one of the key highlights here. This is one of the key highlights here. Watch. As you start your journey on the ladder of success as a young person, there might not be emphasis on psychological investment. But you see, as you climb higher on the ladder of success, what gives credence or safety to your structure, to your ladder, is the quality. Is the quality. Any height you want to get to in your life, people have gotten there. And through the lens of social media, through history and experience, we've seen the fall of great and mighty people because of the quality of the ladder, because they didn't make psychological investment, they make structural investments. I said the ladder here is your mindset, is your mindset, is your mindset. When it comes to the realm of mindsets, even God is powerless. He can't do anything. Psalm 78, verse 41, God was limited because of their unbelief, because of their mindset. Your mindset is the totality of your beliefs, convictions, and values and orientation at any given point in time. You will think this is very simple until you begin to see people that have even pushed for extreme kind of mentalities and orientation in today's world. You see people that they are academically right, and you see some of their biases, and you can begin to wonder the level of filth and disgust. In recent times in our world today, we have seen airlights, global figures, celebrities crumble into jail convictions, such as rape and other social vices, suicide and depression, because of their lack of proper investment in their ladder. We live in a generation today that says you can achieve success by all and any means, only for you to get to the top. And they ask you, how did you get there? We see many people now, you see them on social media, they will go and check what you said last 10 years ago. They will go and check what you did in secondary school today. They say, get to the top. That's what people say. Oh, they clap for you, get to the top. But when you get to the top, they ask, how did you get there? What is your method of getting there? What ladder did you use? What's the key idea here? Every young person has this potential to scale new heights when guided by foundational principles. The beginning of scaling new heights is when you actively and consciously seek to establish, look at the words there, establish, develop, and live by your foundational principles. Scaling new heights is easy. It's about maintaining that journey and getting to your destination. Many people start by establishing foundational values. Some develop it along the way, but many people drop it and don't live by it, and they result in crash. I said here, growth starts when you start living by your foundational values. And there are many of them. I just listed a few of them. Integrity, discipline, excellence, character, competence, resilience. There are many of them. We know we can mention some of the foundational values in the chat. There are many foundational values. This it might look quite simple for discipline. I'm disciplined. But this thing, lack of discipline, has caused many mighty and great people to fall down the ladder of success. Excellence, the lack of excellence has caused many people to lose opportunities. Character, we're going to see them. I said something here which might be a bit subject of debate. For those that are spiritual here, I said prophecy is greater than principles, but your foundational values is stronger than prophecy. I don't know if anybody heard me. Prophecy is greater than principles, but your foundational values is stronger than prophecy. In today's world, prophecy is helpless before a faulty foundational value. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? We have many people that have the potential in them. It has been enforced, signed off from heaven, from creation. These people are meant to be at the top, in the cadre of life. But because of the lack of foundational values, they are grounded. We see someone like Jacob in the Bible having a blessing. He had a blessing, but because of the lack of foundational values, he lived 21 years of his life in mystery. He made terrible maritime and career mistakes. That's many of us there. We can read it in the scriptures, but that's what many of us do. We make relationship and career mistakes. We have prophecies in our head because we don't have foundational values, both men and women alike. We see someone that did not have even the blessing, He doesn't even have any prophetic word. Someone like Esau. But when Jacob and him will meet, Jacob will be the inferior person because he had good foundational values. And how do I know that? The Bible said that Esau was the man of the fields. He was up and running, proactive, audacious. Jacob, who had the prophecy, who had the blessing, was a man of the fence. No exposure, no relevance. Let's continue. By not defining your foundational values, you'll be a jack of all trade. Anything goes. And that's one of the things we have today in our world today. People, they can do anything to attain heights. Anything. We see people that have started committing rituals prevalent everywhere. You would have thought it's really been in third world countries, only for you to find that even in a first world country, a president was almost killed. No values. If integrity is not one of your values, cheating, forgery, bribery, and corruption will be the tools you want to use to scale new heights. Someone can offer you, let's go and cheat, let's go and embezzle money. And you say yes because you don't have foundational values. Discipline is not in your values. If laziness and complacency is not in your value, if discipline is not in your values, you'll be lazy, you'll be complacent, it will impede your growth. The journey to the scaling new heights is not for the faint-hearted. It's not just it's not bouncing council. It's not a lift. We're talking about discipline here. If good character is not in your values, you will lose contracts. Many people have lost contracts. You know that they've lost valuable networks and relationships. We have many examples of them, and we've seen some trend online because of lack of good character. They've lost opportunities due to bad character. I said, for example, Okonjo-Iweala, who broke barriers as Nigeria's finance minister, built a career on unwavering values. So I said, yes, scaling new heights begins with conquering the mountain within. Because if you are here for scaling the heights webinar this evening, and indeed you want to scale new heights, I'm saying the beginning of that journey is to conquer the mountains within, not even without yet. Internal battles and growth. And I picked. Remember that we've been speaking on. We're using examples like historical examples and also biblical examples. And I referenced here the story of the 5 talents. If we're familiar with that, they were given talents. I said a man with 5 talents fought pride to multiply what he had. He fought pride to multiply what he had. The man with 2 talents overcame jealousy and envy to grow what was entrusted unto him. You see this one here, almost all of us will fit into one of this. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, I was counseling somebody yesterday, and the overcoming jealousy and envy to grow is what has kept many people. Today, in today's world, you go on LinkedIn, you want to go be the professional, your profile, and you see a young person has five PhD. You scroll again, you see someone has 3 PhD, is a CEO. Before you know it, you begin to develop jealousy and envy, subtle jealousy and envy, even among your friends and colleagues. I said there, the man with 1 talent let offense and fear hold him back. Many people are offended at their nation. They're offended at their parents for not leverage, and they can't scale new heights because of offense. Some people, it's fear that has not let them scale new heights. So I said, yeah, the 3 C's in the race of life: diagnosis of the lack of foundational values. Commencement. Many fail to start because of fear of failure. Continuity. Some begin but give up when faced with challenges. Completion. Few see their journey through due to weariness. We can even look for contemporary examples in today's world. For those that watch football, you see someone like Cristiano Ronaldo starting his career. He was faced with many opposition. At the time, Messi had 4 Ballon d'Or. There was a lot of criticism. Do you know what he fought for him to be able to come out even victorious in his football career? These are the things. Those people, they have psychology that speak to you. You think it's just going to be easy to say somebody is better than you and you are always going to be the second. What that's dust your mentality. We see people like, I can't begin to mention names, footballers that have potential, but because of they don't have foundational values, they didn't complete their career. We see someone like even Lionel Messi. If he was frustrated in national football, he even retired, but he had to come back again. And after he came back, he was able to win 4 major trophies because they understood these things, that nothing can hold you down. In scaling heights, there'll be barriers. But if you allow them to hold you down, you're going to be the loser. So the key takeaway here is You have started growing when your to be list is equal to your to do list. Many of us, we have to do lists. You want to do stuff, especially this year. We've had many different, we've gone online, we've seen things that people want to do. We have visions, want to do this and that. Remember that your to be list is your operating system. Many people don't have the operating system for the things they want to do. So I'm taxing us today to go and begin to develop our to be lists. You want to become more kind, you want to build your character, and we're going to mention the areas here. How to grow in 2025. So in the most literal form, you want to grow in 2025 from different care that you want to go from survivor to thriving. You're already thriving, you want to begin to impact your world. These are the platforms. There are many other platforms, but this without this TV, you're going nowhere. You're scaling no heights. Number one, knowledge. Of course, you know that you're going to read books. Of course, you know. Of course, you know you're going to read books, podcasts, trainings. You can't talk about growth without being a reader or student of knowledge. It's a forgotten case. So I'm going to ask you, how many books have you read? Or if you've not read any books, how many books will you read this year as touching the areas that you want to scale new heights? Number two is experience. Lessons from past mistakes or history. You can learn from history or from past mistakes. Do you know many of us we've made mistakes that when you gaze into it, in it there's the raw material or the seed that can launch us into great heights. One of the famous quotes if I can remember, Aldous Huxley said, "Experience is not what happens to a man. Experience is what a man does with what happens to him." Like I usually say, many people have experiences, but they don't have experience. They have different experiences. They will tell you, "Have this one has happened to me. Hey, this one has happened to me," but they don't have experience, which is a function of knowledge they've gained from that particular experience. Many people have scars from the past, but don't know how to turn them into marks that are valuable for growth. You must be able to convert your scars into marks that represent milestones. The third one is mentorship. Checking the time. Networks and relationship, men and ladders. I can't stress for those that have known me for example, in scaling height from entering survivor to thriving zone, I didn't have to apply for a job. It was on the platform of network and relationship. And I didn't know anything about technology. Those that know me know that I was an environmental advocate. I remember someone meeting me and said, "I thought you speak at the UN. What are you doing with BTO, with Techna?" I said, "Well, I have no covenant with any career. I only have a covenant to my destiny." Because of network, I was able to get a good job in one of the best companies. Many people want to scale new heights, but check your network. Check your network. Like you always say, your network is your net worth. Men are ladders. Mentorship deflate challenges. I can't stress the role of mentors in my life. Ty Lopez law of 33%. I don't know if many of us have heard of it. You must always have 33% of people higher than you in your circle, 30% of people at your level, and the other 30% below your level. Many people have made people who should be their mentors. They've turned them to friends and colleagues. People that are already up the care that they can lift you up, you have turned them to your colleagues. They can't lift you up. You can't extend a hand of fellowship. I said that many people can never learn from their subordinates. There are many things that even those below us can teach us that can make us leverage and scale new heights. But because of these foundational values, some of us are battling with pride and ego. It will limit us from learning valuable skills and experiences that can launch us into new heights easily or effortlessly. I can't stress the role of mentorship and networking and networking and networking and networking and relationships. Men are ladders. Men are ladders. I can't begin to share personal stories of people that I want to connect with this year as touching the new heights I want to gain. As touching whether they're my mate or not, I don't care. The most important thing is I'm able to acknowledge what they have and possess. I'm able to reach out to it, and I become better for it. Areas of target to grow in. Look at this. There's a current wave of moral decadence in our world today. As a wise climber, there are 6 target areas to grow in. Guys, I'm going to tell you, we have many people on the call today. that have been with me for the last 7 years. We grew up together. I said many things based on the little knowledge I had then as understanding times. I said many things about NYC. I said things about traveling out, even there will be when there was no means about that. And many of them have come to pass today. I can assure you that we are entering into a season of moral decadence. And that if you can build foundational values around these particular areas, you're not going to just scale new heights. You're going to be there and you're going to build an empire scaling new heights. If you don't, if you, failure to build or grow in these target areas, no matter the height you get to, you're going to crumble. You are going to crumble. Is not a prophecy anyway. Number one, sound mind. In our world today, we have young people that are plagued with corrupt mind. I said that the Israelites went about the wilderness for 40 years because of an unbelieving mindset. You want to scale new heights, especially if you're in a third world country, there's no leverage, there's no any platform. If you don't have a sound mind, if you can't believe in yourself, you have nothing to do with scaling new heights. If you can't confront your fears, if you're always remembering the past, you're always reminiscing the past, you have nothing doing with the future. The next thing is godly conscience. Godly conscience. If you want to kill, you want to steal to get a new height, there's going to be definitely nemesis. We are seeing it now. I can't begin to mention names of icons over the world that are now they are in shambles. Positive self-esteem and self-image. On social media, you see people saying, "I have something syndrome, imposter syndrome, inferiority complex." These are major issues for even those that are even achieving impact today, because they've not been able to build positive self-image and self-esteem. For our children, you don't invest these things in them. They go to school and they come back and they are object of bullying. What do you think bullying is? Bullying is the lack of a particular information in a child. That's bullying. Once a child knows who he is, he can't be bullied. Speaking from someone that has been bullied before. Sound character. These are gold mines. I said that John the Baptist was beheaded because he didn't know how to talk to authorities. Moses didn't read the promised land due to anger. These things are very crucial. And if you are talking about scaling new heights, they might have spiritual inclinations, but they also have physical applications. Many people, they are at loggerheads with authorities now, and they've been cut short because they don't have sound character. You go online as a young person and you speak anyhow, it's stressing you. You insult, you speak anyhow, yours is just to speak, insult. There are records. Build your character. Build your character. And that's the next one, the fifth one is competence. Proverbs 12:27. Look at something. Lazy people don't even cook the game they catch, but the diligent make use of everything they find. The five foolish virgins had opportunity but no adequate preparation. This is where many people fall. They try to use prophecies and prayer to cancel competence. You can't scale new heights if you're not skilled. You can't scale new heights if you're not enlightened. You know that definitely once you're going for an interview and you find yourself praying more than you are being confident, then there's something wrong. Go and work on your competence. Go and work, because competence gives confidence. So those are areas to grow in. You want to scale new heights. At every point in time, you must be competent as touching the areas you want to scale new heights in. So for someone that wants to be an engineer, tell me things about engineering. You're not following Elon Musk. You're not reading books on engineering, and you want to become an engineer in a third world country and a first world country. Forget it. You can only wish it. You can't get there. The last one is self-discipline. We see it all over. Even yesterday, is an epidemic on social media now. The global icons. I can't begin to mention their names. You begin to see the moral decadence. You begin to see lack of self-discipline, and you begin to wonder, shouldn't I have known that you need to be disciplined to maintain new heights? I'm gonna skip this. Already, we'll begin to, by now, we should already have our minds running on scaling new heights already. I'm gonna share a new slide. gonna share a new slide now. Guys, the emphasis of scaling new heights, we divided them into growth, vision, and purpose. And we already discussed about what growth in its entirety is. Growth is both inward and outward. Remember, I made more emphasis on inward growth because there is not how you're going to make investments inwardly, psychological investments, without it reflecting in your structural investment. You can't. It's automatic. But that the reverse is the case is what people are doing, and they're trying to make structural investments without psychological investment. And definitely, once you begin to make psychological investment, inward investment, you are definitely going to catch a vision. You're definitely going to be uncomfortable with the level you are. You're definitely going to begin to look at strategies on how to transit to the next level. That's vision. So I said the vision provides clarity and direction. Provides clarity and direction. Without it, there's compass failure, which is one of the greatest sources of failure in young people today. We have two sources of failure in young people today. We have both moral failure and compass failure. We're saying here that vision is the ability to imagine and plan a better future. I said there that vision protects your focus. There's distraction everywhere in the world. People want to do things that they are not called to do because someone else is doing it and is making money and is generating money from it. People are going into content creation without being called. Okay. Can you see me? Can you guys see me? I'm having people saying they can't see me. Yeah, back on. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can now. I said the vision protects your focus. Okay. Vision protects your focus. Vision is when you can connect the dots with a degree of accuracy. So, with the degree of accuracy of your current reality and your distance destination. So, as you grow in life as a young person, you're 30, you're 40, you're 20, you will not have the perfect picture of the height you want to scale. Definitely, we're all on the journey of transformation. Okay. So, but there must be a degree of accuracy of where you want to get to. So, we're saying that the ability to connect the dots of where you are now to where you want to get to is what we call vision. And I said here that you're a man of vision or a woman of vision when you are more committed to your convictions than to your conditions. You see, many people are just trying to hustle, saying man must work, man must chop. He can't take you to new heights. He can't make you become a global figure or icon. What takes people there is vision. What takes people to the global stage is vision. You have nothing doing with fame, influence, or income without vision. Many people are committed to their conditions. To their conditions, they are suffering. There's no money. You must be able to catch a vision, your convictions. So we have many young people that are committed to their conditions and to their conviction. But we're saying that if you must become a man or a woman of vision, you must have your convictions as the highest priority, even more than your conditions. I said that fulfillment quotient matrix, joy, peace, and satisfaction are the outcomes of aligning your vision with purpose. See, there's a certain level of joy, peace, and satisfaction that you can't get without living, combining vision and purpose. You will just exist. You can have momentary happiness, but that feeling of fulfillment, you can't. You can't. And that's why people like Bill Gates are not giving back monies now and trying to do things because they are seeking for something. You begin to ask someone like that, like the richest man in Africa, Dangote, why are you still working? They're trying to achieve something and they're not investing in foundation, to Elumelu. They're investing in their foundation now because they want to achieve something. There's a vision. As a young person, what's your vision? An average young person does not have any vision. He wants to be on TikTok to become a content creator. The reward for pursuing vision leads to three I's, like I said, like I'm saying now. Number one, impact, creating lasting change. Number two, influence. Number three, income. You see, what we see is that many people want to achieve this third one, income, without this first two, influence and impact. And you see that these things are laws, they can't be changed. It's so difficult to have so much money without giving so much value in terms of impact to a wide range of audience. So you already see that vision is more than just you. It's more than just tea and bread. It's about solving key pressing societal challenges. So we see here that these are the rewards. You, if once you begin to pursue your vision, you're definitely going to increase in your impact, in influence, and in income. I said here, attaining these three eyes gives you the chance of defining and redefining culture. And that has been one of my major motivating factor for having something like this kind of webinar, that we want young people to catch a vision as regarding redefining and defining culture. So when I say redefining culture, I mean from moral decadence to moral sanity. I believe any young person that is here right now should begin to catch that vision of what do I want to change. And that's where vision capturing starts. That you have to be able to see what part you want to play in culture formation, especially on platforms like social media. And I think we're going to have a different session on the power of social media, because life now is being simplified to the power of social media. Now, traditional knowledge is no longer valuable again if you don't have tech knowledge. And these are truths that we must come to the reality of it. So I know we're going to have another session on how to what's the secret in social media, because it appears that even to get a job, they're still going to ask for your involvement or your activities on social media. Even to organize businesses to get endorsement, they're still going to refer you back to that thing called social media. So there's something there. So we're saying here that as an average young person, you have a platform, use it to pursue a vision towards redefining or defining culture. So I said vision is often linked to solving pressing societal challenges, poverty elevation or education access. This is one of my quotes. Redefining culture is one of the hallmark of greatness. You see, many people will go through the history of time. They've made more money, but they didn't do much. They will maybe popular, but they may not last long because they didn't redefine culture. So already for someone that wants to settle at thriving, you just want luxury. Already, yes, you might be popular, but you will go down the all of history as someone that didn't exist. So redefining culture, which is one of the greatest motivating factor that someone like me have, is one of the hallmark of greatness. Last one is purpose. You see, I didn't want to stress on this because there's not how you become a man of growth. There's not how you become a man of vision. It's going to be a near miss if you don't achieve purpose. So that's why we took our time to invest in growth and vision. There's no how you're going to invest in growth that you will not catch a vision. There's no how you're going to catch a vision and implement it that you're not going to achieve purpose. I said there, purpose is a sense of direction and meaning in one's action. Purpose can involve individual passions or global scale contributions. So it's about the mindset, whether from the little thing you're doing inside, inward, or to global platform, purpose is being achieved. I said purpose is rooted in serving others and creating value. And I highlighted something here. According to godly standard, like we mentioned earlier on, that brings people back to morality, sanity, and salvation. Don't tell me that you want to go and be twerking and opening breast on TikTok and telling me you're pursuing purpose. That is not purpose. That is not purpose. It must bring people back to sanity, morality, and salvation. And I said here, as we close, through your choices, you instruct those you lead. They accept what you accept. And everyone is a leader in any form, whether you're leading yourself, self-government, or you're leading your family government, or you're leading a people. We've seen that the lack of understanding of all these things, purpose, vision, and growth, is affecting our world today. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Yes, you want to journey to new heights, you want to scale new heights. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You don't have to see the whole height. Just take the first step. That's what Martin Luther King said. And I added The journey to scaling new heights not just begins with even stepping, but a decision. But a decision for those in third world countries, for those in first world countries that have stringent conditions. I'm saying to you, make a move against stagnation. God only moves for people who move, especially for those that believe 2025 is going to be a great year. It's going to pass away if you don't make certain kind of moves. And just because of our time, I can't begin to share personal stories of audacious move that's led one to achieving new heights. Audacious move, audacious move, aggressive move. You see, even those that have achieved, you see those that have even gotten to the pinnacle of success. For example, when they talk about the ethic, the work ethics of Cristiano Ronaldo, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you begin to wonder that young footballers should even learn to become someone like him, but they won't. They want to drive the best cars. No wonder they even live even the footballing career even before someone like Cristiano Ronaldo because of this kind of things. So the journey to scaling new height is not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a hard journey. So there's no any other option. But for those that don't want to start also, there's gonna be severe consequences. There's always a choice to take. Do you want to go the hard way that leads to fulfillment? Or you don't want to start the journey at all? There are severe consequences. It's more expensive to be at the bottom of the ladder today. You can't make any choice. You will live on people's choices and opinion. That's what it is to being at the bottom of the ladder. So whether you're existing or you're just surviving or you're thriving, there's always room for more in terms of impact, purpose, and legacy. So as we close tonight, we'll open the floor for questions on the chats for us to answer. Let's see some chats. You can see. Yeah, let's keep the questions coming. Yeah. I made sure I use a slide like this because for me, if you leave me to speak, I'll share stories. Yeah, there's room for I will she will still share stories that it's possible. Scaling new height is possible, guys. It's possible, guys. You must determine that you want to become the best version of yourself. There are some people on this call that we grew up together. And the first day I read a book in my life, they were there. I told them because I didn't believe in reading books, for example. I didn't believe in it. I saw one of my colleagues reading a book one day and I was making a mockery of him. So the first day I was going to read the book, someone like Joel is on the line, he can testify to that. He was like, "You want to read a book?" I said yes, because we're tired of just being at the lower strata of life. And from there we started. There are fundamental books. I have many of them here. That I had to even go and revisit as I was preparing for this conference. So as a young person, you're not building your future. You are not going. You're going to. We have people that have gone through that kind of phase and they didn't amount to anything. Now they're in offense, they're in anger and bitterness. They are seeing their colleagues scaling new heights, but they don't have the platform. Remember, I told you that life is about time and energy. If you don't use your time and energy well, you use it in the wrong way. Many books. Let's keep the question coming. Many books like Brian Tracy. I can never forget people like Brian Tracy. No Excuses. Success is Everything. Many books. Billy Batman, Tim Lavender. That can redefine your mentality. It can redefine your mentality. That turns you from being someone that has no rules and regulation to becoming someone under self-government. You keep yourself to the highest level of standard. Guys, I'm waiting for the questions. Let me see the chat. Okay, I think some questions. Yeah. Have we followed the link My team, can you guys share the link for people to follow? We're gonna be doing live sessions like this, for people to, especially young people, to see how we can, push ourselves and stress ourselves to attaining new heights. It's so possible. It's so possible. So possible. There are many people, when growing up, they failed to invest in psychological, in the psychological part of growth. They failed. They were trying to do things, build systems outside. It's crumbled now. It's crumbled now. It's crumbled now. Yeah, somebody's asking. I did a pitch session with one of my clients in the US. Yes, that was yesterday, and I said, as we closed, I said I shared a prototype of what I shared today. There was no more question again. There was no more question again, because already this is not just you receiving the regular motivational, inspirational, session or class. This is thought provoking. This will, except if you just want to just come and be a supporter, it will lead you back to redefining your key foundational values. As I was preparing for it, I had to even begin to assess and edit these things as regarding even one's lifestyle in today's world. That is not all that glitters that is gold. If you go online on social media, TikTok, Instagram, you see many propagandas of celebrities, of global figures, and you begin to wonder what is it in terms of these people being the reference points. Yes, guys, you can follow us on Instagram, on TikTok also. You can see Jim or Yakub. Okay. Yeah, I think 5 minutes more, then wait for questions, then we can close. I just hope we've been able to get, take away key information, very relevant information that already determine the scope of this. So already captured in this session is things to do. If yours is you want to make more money, definitely captured in this and the slides and what we've discussed are pathways. Are pathways. I, for one, for example, one of my friends, I told him I need to start a remote job, and I was persistent at it. He is on my level. He's my friend, but I said no. You have this thing. I want it. Let, you have to take away pride or sentiment. So we must begin to look at our network and see those that that we have been ignoring, that they have the key or the secrets that can take us to new heights. Even we ourselves must become even prepared. I remember when I was preparing to speak at the UN, I've been looking for opportunities to speak at the UN, and I got this opportunity. I think Kello is here; he can testify. Yes, he can. He's even here online. Do you know how I got the opportunity to speak? I was not prepared at all. I had to go and borrow a suit from him. I had to go and borrow a suit for me. When immediately I came back, I knew that you don't desire or wish next level, you prepare for it. That's when I made serious investments, even in my appearance. And that's a topic for another day. Maybe we'll talk about even structural investment that you can do, because the way you appear is how men will perceive you. You see, many people there, they'll say, well, must I wear suit? I don't want to wear suit. Well, I'm not saying wear suits or don't wear suits. All I'm saying is that there are certain places you can't enter if you don't conform. The people you want to become like, the tech people, the tech giants you want to become like, when they were going for President Donald Trump's swearing in, they were all suited. There are certain places that the footballers you want to become, you become like, when they go for Ballon d'Or ceremony, they are all on the best suits in the world. The Oscars of this world, they are all formal. So you are telling me that you don't want to be formal, you want to be a rascal? You want the Queen Elizabeth? Have you ever seen her breast online before? As a young person, that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another day. Yeah, guys, follow us on Instagram. We're building a community there. We just send in quotes and posts there that will inspire us, will always keep us in check. And one of the things I plan to do is to send out some newsletters. I have some newsletters already waiting that will just, like a weekly, like a checkup. It could be monthly, could be quarterly. That just remind us that in this year, I want to see you by December. I've scaled new heights. I've transitioned into new heights. Yes, I think, yeah, 1 hour. Thank you very much, everyone that joined. I just hope, and I'm very sure that we've benefited something. We've taken down notes. We have thoughts that we're going to reflect on. We have action points. We have action points to work on, key areas to target in our lives. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We can begin to log off now. It's been. I don't want to waste our time. I don't want to delay our time. I try to make sure that we worked with 1 hour, because I know we've got many things to do. And I know that even next time when we call for you to come listen to us, definitely you're going to come, because we're going to make judicious use of your time. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the channel button, King's Council, Instagram, and TikTok, and wait for us. And we're going to even start sharing our newsletters on our emailing list. So thank you, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. Some chat going on here. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. You're welcome. So the link will be, we can find it will still be active, so we can always go refer or share it to anyone that's missed the session. Yeah, you can access the replays. Yeah, yeah. Yes, definitely. We're gonna come up with something very soon. Something in February. Something in February. Something along structural responsibility. Something on power of social media and networking. Many people, we need to step out there, especially as young people, both in the first world country and third world country. We need networks. Men are ladders. The job I got in BT, I never did a CV. It was someone that did it for me. I never did a CV because I knew how to harness it. Yes, there was divine favor, but when I sat down to, I think I did a pitch with someone that wanted to get a job in BT also, and we spoke for about 1 hour. I saw that truly men make moves, and God follows men that make moves. So definitely, we're gonna do something. Power of your network, like say your what's like a book I'm writing on the signature of your net worth. So we're gonna organize some sessions soon. Yeah, you're welcome.